This video is about to get juicy. Like fucking Kathy Kelly's ass. Oh, in any case, we're discussing best and worst alien designs throughout the Ben 10 franchise. In this one, we'll be discussing classic aliens. UAF will be used for a separate video because it'll be way too long if I covered UAF and classic aliens in this. So yeah, classic aliens. No more fucking around. Let's get into the video right now. First of all, let's talk about Heat Blast, one of Ben's first alien transformations. Personally, I think they all look similar. Heat Original Heat Blast is alright, so yeah, I think I'll go with Omniverse Heat Blast. Yeah, Omniverse looks the best in my opinion, so I'll go with Omniverse. Okay, that brings on to Diamond Head. Which one prefer? Classic, UAF, or Omniverse? I mean, I like how Diamond Head in Omniverse has the sharper crystals on his back. I like the chromosome aesthetic of UAF, and Classic just like hits different. But personally, I'm gonna have to go with Omniverse. Omniverse Diamond Head is the best. And now we move on to forearms. Okay. UAF forearms has some kind of ponytail and some kind of like luchador outfit, which kind of reminds you of Omniverse Humongousaur. So I don't really like UAF forearms. Omniverse forearms looks kind of cheesy in my opinion. He looks kind of, I have hard to describe forearms in Omniverse, but classic forearms is GOAT in my opinion. So we're gonna have to go with classic forearms is the better forearm. So classic forearms. And now we move on to Wild Mutt. Classic, UAF, and Omniverse. What the fuck has happened to UAF Wild Mutt? His lips were black in the intro, but in the actual show, his lips are orange like the rest of his fur. Omniverse Wild Mutt looks cool with the collar, and classic Wild Mutt has the Omnitrix on the side. Left side, right side. So as far as my favourite Wild Mutt design goes, I'm gonna go with Omniverse. Omniverse Wild Mutt is the best in my opinion. Right, next is Upgrade. One of the greatest, one of my favourite aliens in the Ben 10 franchise, Upgrade. Got Classic, Heroes United, and Omniverse. Right off the bat, the Omnitrix symbol is fucking missing from Heroes United. And in the Ultimate Alien intro, he designed exactly the same as Heroes United, but with the Omnitrix symbol. And Omniverse Upgrade looks kind of shit in my opinion. He fucking has the Omnitrix symbol on his eyes, a la Stinkfly from the original, and it looks kind of ugly. Classic is the best. It's between Classic and Heroes United, but personally, I'm gonna have to go with Classic. Upgrade is the best out of all of them. So Classic Upgrade. Straight on to Ripjaws. Classic, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse. Yeah, at least Ripjaws in the actual UF show, it looks better than it does in the freaking intro. I mean, he has black lips in the intro, but it looks different in the actual show. Omniverse Ripjaws looks okay, but as far as my favorite goes, I'm gonna have to go with Classic Ripjaws all the fucking way. So Classic Ripjaws. Right, next up is Stinkfly. Stinkfly did appear in the Ultimate Alien intro, but looked exactly the same as the classic Stinkfly, so I never counted him. Okay, Stinkfly. Classic or Omniverse? Omniverse Stinkfly looks overly gross in my opinion. So, if I'm being biased, I'll also fucking go with the classic Stinkfly because he looks less gross than the Omniverse one. Okay, next is Accelerate. Okay, classics, pardon me, classic and Omniverse Accelerate. I mean, they look very similar. Accelerate in Omniverse has less rings on his tail than classic Accelerate. But, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Omniverse Accelerate looks a bit sharper, so I think Omniverse Accelerate is better. Omniverse Accelerate. Okay, time for the second to last alien. It's Ben Starter of Ben Starter aliens, and that's grey matter. Okay, Omniverse or classic? Okay, classic has stripe over his head, which I'm a bit iffy about. I like how both designs have the Omnitrix symbol on his back, but personally, Omniverse grey matter looks better. Omniverse grey matter looks better in my opinion. This time around, there's 4 primary designs for Ghost Freak. There's the original Ghost Freak. There's UAF version 1, who looks more like the Scare, his true identity, and there's UAF V2, and there's Omniverse. Which do I personally prefer? I'd have to say UAF version 2, because he actually looks more like one of Ben's rather than the original Ghost Freak, which looks more like a villain, so I'll have to say UAF version 2. Let's start. Now it's time for all the additional aliens. Starting off with Cannonbolt, original, UAF, and Omniverse. Which do I prefer personally? Out of the 3 of them. Okay. At least they all look relatively similar aside from Omniverse. Omniverse was the cross between both the original and UAF, but I prefer the classic Cannonbolt because Cannonbolt doesn't look right with the Omnitrix symbol on his chest. Doesn't look right, so yeah, original Cannonbolt. Then second will be UAF, then Omniverse. So yeah, original Cannonbolt. Okay, Ditto. Classic Ditto or Omniverse Ditto. Honestly, Omniverse Ditto has holes on the side of his arms, or his things, whatever, and he looks too cat-like in Omniverse. But Ditto is GOAT in the original, and I like how Bob Paulson reprised his role as Ditto in Omniverse. But for this one, I'm gonna have to go with the original Ditto because he doesn't look as cat-like compared to Omniverse. So yeah, OG Ditto. Next we have Upchuck. Okay, there's 4 designs for Upchuck. There's original Upchuck, who's a perk. Alien Force / Ultimate Alien Upchuck, UAF Upchuck, who is a merc. Merc Upchuck in Omniverse, Perk Upchuck in Omniverse. Okay. I don't like how the after the classic series Upchuck's stark fucking naked, so I'm gonna go with classic because Upchuck looks good with clothes, so I'm gonna go with OG Upchuck. And then second place will be Merc Upchuck in Omniverse. Okay, so classic Upchuck. Way big. In the original, way big looks a bit excessive and too sharp. It looks quite clean in the UAF, and Omniverse looks robotic. So, if I had to choose, which I am going to choose, I'm going to pick UAF way big because it looks a lot cleaner and leaner. So yeah, UAF way big. Okay, Next alien is a Wildvine. I mean, in the original Wildvine has 6 legs, 6 legs or 5 legs, and in Omniverse he only has 4 legs. Okay, basically I think Wildvine looks a lot cleaner in Omniverse, and he has more character in the original. So, I think I prefer Omniverse Wildvine. I prefer Wildvine in Omniverse. So yeah, Omniverse. Okay, next up is iGuy. Okay, what can I say about iGuy? And it's hard to choose. I mean, they look pretty much remarkably similar. The only difference is that iGuy has eyes on his hands in Omniverse. Other than that, there's no real fucking difference between Omniverse iGuy and classic iGuy. But to be honest, I'll probably go with Omniverse iGuy because it's voiced by Paul Eading. Same guy who voices Grandpa Mac. So yeah, Omniverse. And now we are waiting for the Halloween aliens. Kicking off with Blitzwolfer or Ben Wolf. Okay. Omniverse looks a lot more dog like and it's hard to describe. The classic Blitzwolfer, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Blitzwolfer in Omniverse. Omniverse Blitzwolfer is a bit of an improvement in my opinion. So yeah, Omniverse Blitzwolfer, Omniverse. Let's go. Next one is going to be Snarrow, and here's Snarrow. Okay, or Ben Mummy. Okay, Snarrow looks more like the Mummy, but with okay, hard to describe. Omniverse is a lot more colourful and looks more like one of Ben's aliens, so just like with Blitzwolfer, I'm gonna have to go with Omniverse Snarrow looks better, in my opinion. The last of the Halloween trio we're gonna look at is Frankenstrike or Ben Victor. Okay, there's original Frankenstrike and Omniverse Frankenstrike. Omniverse Frankenstrike looks more like Frankenstein's monster, whereas I like the long hair of the original Frankenstrike. The crooked teeth of Omniverse Frankenstrike kind of rub the wrong ways, but overall, if I was to choose, okay, I'm picking classic Frankenstrike is the best in my opinion. So yeah, classic Frankenstrike or Ben Victor, classic. Now we're on the last 3 aliens that were introduced by Ben 10,000. And up first is Arctiguana or Freeze Lizarders. It was named by Ben 23. I mean, we got classic Arctiguana, we got Ultimate Alien Arctiguana, who looks no different from the classic variant, and we got 16-year-old Arctiguana from Ben 10 Omniverse. I probably prefer the I'm gonna go with the classic Arctiguana. If it looks a lot better in my opinion. No, actually, fuck that. Omniverse Arctiguana looks better. We're gonna go with Omniverse Arctiguana. So Omniverse. Last but not least, we have Bosshock. One of the second out. One of the only 2 out of the 3 Ultimate Benton fans to be using Omniverse. So we got OG Bosshock, EOF Bosshock, and Omniverse Bosshock. Omniverse Bosshock looks a lot more battery-like compared to original Bosshock, but in my opinion, I think the original Bosshock, classic Bosshock looks better. So classic Bosshock, and last is Spitter. So yeah, classic Bosshock, and last is Spitter. Okay, and now we finish off with Spitter. And fun fact, Spitter was not used in Omniverse. Okay, Derek J. White did do drawing of a Spitter, but it was never utilized in Omniverse. and is the only alien from the classic series not to be utilized in Omniverse. Okay. With that said, original Spitter, Ultimate Alien Spitter, which looks no different from the classic Spitter, and Omniverse Spitter. If you want my honest opinion, which I'm going to give you, I think the Omniverse Spitter looks better than the classic Spitter. Classic Spitter looks kind of gross to me, so yeah, I prefer classic Spitter. Sorry, I mean Omniverse Spitter. And that will finish off the classic aliens designs. Okay. Classic. I mean, Omniverse Spitter. And there you have it, folks. That will conclude all my favorite and least favorite designs of Ben 10 classic aliens in all their iterations. I hope you enjoyed this long video that took even longer to fucking make. The next video will be on UAF aliens. And what more can I say? Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'll catch you next